Hello and welcome to What's New in Microsoft 365 and Teams for the week of the 27th of February to the 6th of March. We're going to start with some revised timelines. There's a couple of quite interesting ones in there this week. Then we're going to go through the main apps. We'll have a couple of updates with Teams towards the end, some bite-sized updates, and then I'll tell you how you can keep in touch. We're going to start off with these revised timelines. So the SharePoint app bar that features the global navigation, top left-hand corner, that's now not coming out until mid-March to mid-April. This is interesting. I'm working with an organisation right now that have asked Microsoft to postpone this because that home button, they've got so many different kind of main intranet areas, they can't decide where that's going to go to. So I imagine that's pretty simple for most organisations, but for one or two that is causing a headache. Now, this Outlook reactions and new notification experience, now Microsoft haven't put a new date on this. They've said, at this time, we are not moving forward with rolling out the feature as outlined. Now, when I showed this to people, so I run a monthly update for 100 to 150 people across an organisation, and I do some courses, some update courses, so about 100 to 150 people on top of that, they see these updates as well. And they all thought this one was a bit weird. The fact that people are giving smiley faces and loves and hearts to your emails. So this one just didn't gel with the people that I showed it to. So it's not massively surprising that Microsoft have had that feedback. So Outlook on the web, update on how users access mail. So this is delayed until mid-March to mid-April. This is going to be really nice, I think. It just means that top left-hand side, you can see that app bar down the left-hand side. It just means that the things that you want to open are where your mouse kind of is anyway, and where your eye is on the screen. Also, Outlook on the web, message reminders. So they're going to make some additional changes before they roll this out. So when this gets updated, I'll let you know. I'm looking forward to this because it just means that originally they said the emails which need actioning will pop back up to the top. So I think that'll be good, but let's just see what comes of this. This meeting lobby setting, so only invited users can join directly. So this just means that only the people who you invited to a meeting, rather than the people who received a copy of it or it was copy and pasted and given to them, only the people you actually invited can bypass the lobby. Okay, that's quite a nice setting. It just helps you fine tune your privacy. So look out for that, end of March to mid-April. The increase in the interactive meeting participants and chat going from 300 to 1,000, a little bit delayed, so end of March to the end of April. And finally this gets a Meet Now meeting link in Teams. This is where you hover over Meet Now, and instead of just being able to click that and then you fire up a meeting and you can pull people in, you can get a link to that meeting that you can share out in advance. Although I'm not super sure why you'd want to, although some people like the idea of that. I personally don't get it. But if it is for you, you're going to see it mid-March to early April. Okay, so let's start off with some forms information. So this is where Forms now is going to separate how you share with people who are going to respond to your form and people who are going to work with it on you. And before, that was a little bit ambiguous. So you can see here previously, you click share and then you would decide what type of share it's going to be. But now you're going to have a send button and this will send it to the people you want to fill it in. And you got that button on the right hand side which is to share it with collaborators or people who are going to co-author your form with you. And that rollout is from early March to the end of March, so any time now, but that looks like quite a nice little tweak. Moving on to OneDrive for Android, Bookmarks feature for PDF viewing. This just means that you can click the bookmark button or bookmark an item by long pressing on the screen, and you can see there you can filter by the bookmarks, and that will be rolling out into Google Play Store mid to late March this year. Next up, we've got the ability in Outlook to tag for external email messages which are received. So this one really, you're as an end user, this is on or off for you. It's for the admins to decide there to turn this on or turn it off. So it's a new tool for admins to protect you an organization against spam and phishing emails. And what's going to happen is on your email, it's going to display that it came outside of your organization, regardless of how the link looks or how the name looks. It's going to be really clear that it's external. So you can just see I'm highlighting that there now. In the mobile version, you can see it's nice and clear there as well. And also you have the option there to show the email address of the sender. This is available to be enabled by the people who run your IT now. Okay, so this I'm really excited about. This is Planner's new roster containers. And the name doesn't really matter, but what it means is you can create plans in Planner which are not associated with a Microsoft 365 group. And the reason this matters is because some organizations, and I could name you one off the top of my head right now, don't let their staff create plans, because behind the scenes it also creates a Microsoft 365 group, it creates a SharePoint site and all that other stuff that it does, which some organizations don't like the overhead of managing. So this means that people can create these new plans without all the other collateral getting created around it, which means I think organizations will be happier about the plans being created. Now, bizarrely, at the moment, there's no user interface in Planner for you to create this, although it could be created via Graph APIs. However, that is coming. So I know it might be a bit weird for end users that they've kind of done it that way around, but it will be coming for you. From a functionality point of view, all the functionality is the same, apart from some of the stuff behind the scenes. And there probably will be some changes in what you can do, because you haven't got this other stuff behind the scenes. But I'm really excited to see how that looks and what the functionality is like when that comes out. So this will be enabled on the 5th of April, so look out for that in just a few weeks. Okay, Teams transfer calls between devices. So it's been around in some form for a little while now, but this is about joining a Teams call on one device and then being able to join the same call on a second. So you have a couple of options of this. You can hang up from the original device and then transfer it to a new device, or you can add a second device to the call. So maybe you got, I don't know, you got the presentation or the thing you want to share on another device. You can join that device as well and maybe present from that. For whatever reason you want to do that, you can have both or just the one. Okay, look out for that late March, so in the next couple of weeks or so. Now, this new Teams meeting experience, a dynamic view. So this is going to be separating video and audio participants separately. The audio people get kind of put down to the bottom, and this is happening already actually, but in this view they're going to carry on that behaviour. So the shared content will appear bigger and with more engaged participants. You can pin or spotlight particular people if you want to make them appear larger inside the meeting. You can see that as that screen is scrolling through some of the options there, some really nice options on how you have the layout of the content, and you have the people, you have them in different layouts. So that I think is going to make the meetings a nicer experience. This is going to roll out for everybody. So if your colleagues don't see it, so if your colleagues see it and you don't, then just restart your Teams and then you should have it if they're getting it. So look out for that anytime now, between now and the end of the month. Okay, some new personal wellbeing insights coming to Viva Insights app in Teams. So it's going to introduce a new homepage, and it's going to be making suggestions about your virtual commute, about praise, reflecting on your day. It is super completely personal and private. Okay, so don't worry about anyone else being able to see this. This is all about you, and it's for your eyes only. So this is really, I should have put this under the heading one to watch, because it's going to start rolling out in April 2021 and towards the end of June 2021. Now, I've just skimmed over that. There's quite a lot more. If you follow the link back to 365.com and then have a look at the blog article for that, there's a lot more detail in there if you're interested. Okay, some bite-sized updates to start closing up. You can now have the page rotation in Android for OneDrive PDFs, so you can just go into the app and then you can just rotate it. That's due anytime now, the next 2 or 3 weeks in the Google Play Store. This is another one for Outlook Mobile, so frequently asked questions. So I tested this just before I did the video. If you've got Outlook, the Outlook app, go into the app, go into settings, help and feedback, and you'll see there's quite a good FAQ in there. Teams, that increase from meeting participants from 300 to 1,000. Now, I mentioned this at the start. Somehow it's snuck in again. It's obviously very important, but that's again still coming mid-March to mid-April. You're going to get a new design for Yammer Discovery and Digest emails. So if you are using Yammer, then just look out for that new design of that email. It should be a bit more useful. Look out for that late March to early May, so quite a long tail on that one. If you want any more detail for these, then follow the link back to the website and have a look, see if there's anything there. If there's anything ever you want more detail about anything I talk about, just put a note in the comments and I'll follow up and I'll send some more details your way and for everyone else to see as well. Okay, folks, quite a short one this week. If you're wondering why I've not commented on the Ignite conference, well, lots of people push the content out from Ignite, and I'm going to do a follow-up, so look out for that. In a few days I'm going to do a look back on it, just to have a slightly different look on it than if I'd have been doing it as the announcements came out. So look out for that update. However, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, podcast, website, however you want to keep in touch and keep up to date, look out for Super Simple 365. Do a search for that. And remember to subscribe to get these weekly updates. Folks, that's it. Nice quick one. We're done. Thank you very much.